So I finished watching the movie Newton, and I think this is about how elections are pointless? Hello there, namaste. So, a rookie government clerk is dispatched to a remote village in the jungles of central India, where he tries to run a free and fair election, despite an apathetic security team and the surrounding threat of communist rebels who are ready to attack. I'm gonna be honest, I think this entire film should have just been done as more like a short film. Maybe at the longest, it should have been an hour and 20 minutes. I think that's how long it should have been, because it feels slow, it feels uncomfortable, and literally the story is an autistic man who's high-functioning autistic, who values his honesty, who values like structure, goes off to the middle of nowhere where everyone's afraid to go because of rebels, and he literally wants to do everything by the book, and the people there are basically forced to vote, and whoever they vote for doesn't matter to them because they're rural villagers. They don't have a say. Their votes don't matter because the people who get elected are in the big cities. They normally don't care for places where roads don't even reach. Like, I enjoy this film. It's just, I think it was way too drawn out for me to really like it, because there are spots where, like, where the lead character, who's has to be a high-functioning autistic, will say things and he's like combating with the security team. The security team is trying to keep them safe. Of course, Newton is trying to do his job, like literally by the book. He wants to get everything done. Of course, near the end, he literally breaks by the book because he's forced out of his situation because of a security detail. I don't know. I liked how it ended, but I didn't like how it ended because it's like the whole point to get there was kind of like the security team had a reason for everything. They were just trying to keep you safe. And it seemed like he had orders up above, so why was he left to blame? And someone needs to explain to me. There's this part where the girl does know 5 is the palm of a hand. 6 is the head. And I'm like, is that supposed to be in reference to something? What's that supposed to mean? This film really has nothing for it. There is a lot of nothing in this film. Probably an hour of nothing. The real interesting bits were pretty much in the beginning. I mean, it wasn't interesting, it was more like weird, because the high-functioning autistic's parents were trying to marry him off to a 16-year-old, and when he finds out that she's underage, he goes on like a tantrum, basically saying he'll never marry, like all this stuff, because his parents want to marry him off. And I thought that was well done. Because in the beginning, it all feels uncomfortable. Everything feels uncomfortable. Every shot. It's like every shot, nothing's really in focus, because even though there's like one point that might be in focus, they've used an effect on the film that makes everything else blurry, and it's really disrupting to your eye because you're wanting to get everything on the screen, but you can't. They have this one bit where like a Western reporter is going there to the village in the middle of nowhere, and that's when the voters show up because the whole thing's political, and it's just like to make this safe face. And then the news reporter is speaking English going like, India really believes in its democracy, and immediately I was just like, well, that's a lie. That's fake news. Those people were forced to be there. But then again, that's what it was. They were forced to be there. I don't know what I was supposed to get out of this film. It's just like, this is based off true events. But what's the message here? Is the message, no matter what, you stick to the letter of the law on what your task is? Is the message that voting matters not, depending on who you are or where you are? In most cases, most people would say it doesn't matter to them. It serves no purpose. Is it that structure doesn't belong everywhere? Is it that policies that affect one place doesn't affect a place where for thousands of years they've been doing things differently? This film doesn't really establish what it's going for. Everything's more of an open-ended question, which is okay. It makes everyone answer it themselves, but for someone like me, I'm like, what are you trying to say? Are they just trying to make a funny film? But I didn't find anything funny there. The dynamics between all the characters, especially when they were sitting around for hours on end, because this film feels like it takes forever, there was a bit of funny bits around there. It seems like Newton ended up getting a love interest, but he doesn't see it because he's a high-functioning autistic and he's just wanting to get his task done no matter what. I don't know. I have nothing else to say about this. I liked that I watched it. It was a good 5 hours of my life. It's an hour and 40-minute film, but it feels like 5 hours. The cinematography feels like if it was done, that the film was shorter, it would have felt richer because it already feels uncomfortable with the cinematography. Oh, one of the best shots was when Newton is sitting there, everyone's left the building, and like there's a zoom out and down, and you get like this chalkboard that's behind him growing in the field of view behind him, and it's a beautiful, uncomfortable shot, and that's how the entire film feels. I feel like they could have removed a lot of that, made this hour and 40-minute film feel like 3 hours. Feel like 2 hours. It would have been a better film for it. It would have been a much better film for it. Because here I was just like, okay, get to the next point. Get to the next point. Come on, get to the next point. Get to the next point. Tell me what's going on. It was like that. It's just like, is there a phone around I could just start messing with? Do I need a fidget spinner? That type of thing. Because it's like there's nothing to draw you in. It's like one of those things you throw on in the background because there was nothing to draw you in. It's a lot of sitting and staring at a screen. But the reason for that was there was a lot of sitting and doing nothing. But I felt that what already came across with the way they did their cinematography. They didn't need to do anything else. Their cinematography was already uncomfortable. They didn't need to make us feel even more so as the characters on screen did. Thank you all for watching. Talk to you next time. Toodles!
You guys got a video? That was so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, where's that?